2024 Vuelta España, and Australia is on top. Ben O'Connor, the Australian from Perth, remains in the race leader's red jersey over Primoz Roglic, who's on the attack. And Kaden Groves, the Australian sprinter from Team Alpecin-Deceuninck, wins the stage. Here in Villablino, stage 14, Kaden just beats out Wout van Aert in the green points jersey in a head-to-head to the line over those final 400 meters uphill at an average gradient of 4.4%. 6 men dominated the early hours of the race. In that group included riders like Victor Campenaerts, the young Mexican riding in his first Grand Tour, Isaac Del Toro from UAE Team Emirates, Tejada, also Narvaez, the Ecuadorian rider, and Marco Frigo, the Italian from Team Israel Premier Tech. They got to that final climb, which topped out around 16.5 kilometers to go or so. 22-kilometer climb, that averaged around 4%, and all day long, back in the group, we could tell this was not going to be a breakaway day because Visma-Lease bike had an idea, had a plan in place for their man, the big man, Wout van Aert. Sepkus won the overall last year, but today, in this year's edition, it's about Van Aert picking up more stage wins. He's won 3 already in this year's edition, his debut in the Vuelta, and he's out for the 4th, which would have been his 50th victory on the road. So Visma working hard all day. Robert Gesink should be named the MVP of the day, hammering for most of the day out there. Turned it over to Steven Kruijswijk, also Eduardo Affini, all those guys just pulling back the accelerator, working hard for Wout van Aert. In fact, so much so that Van Aert told me afterwards that they had to work so hard to get the escape back that they really didn't have enough firepower, enough horsepower to really make it harder on that final climb, that doing so would have eliminated Kaden Groves. Instead, Groves and plenty of the other sprinters stayed intact, like Pavel Bittner and Vacek from Lidl Trek over the top of the climb. No one else went for it, so Wout van Aert nips off the front, gets the KOM points, adding to his KOM lead as well. He has the polka dot jersey, but the green jersey more important. That's what he wears in this race. Coming down the descent, 10 kilometers to go, Primoz Roglic, a bit of a scare, nothing too major if you're a professional bike team and ready to deal with it. He punctured. Danny Martinez stopped right away, and Primoz made the bike change so quickly that the cameraman missed him. Primoz Roglic, bomb, off down the hill. Danny Martinez left to fiddle around with Roglic's bike and gets going. All the Red Bull riders drop back with him. In fact, we could see they were struggling to keep up with Primoz, zipping down, racing to join the group up front in those final 10K. Aleotti, one of his helpers, was back at the back, taking some of those corners. Oh, wow, we were a bit scared, especially the day after the Brendan McNulty crash off the side of the road. Roglic makes it back up front, no problemo for the Slovenian 3-time winner of the Vuelta España, Alpecin-Deceuninck. After the work all day by Visma-Lease bike and a little bit of help there, sprinkled on top by Lidl Trek for their sprinter Vacek, well, Alpecin-Deceuninck comes up to the front. It looked like all their men were up at the front there with Ed Plankart, the last man for Kaden Groves, going to be working today. That last final left-hand corner, well, that was crucial getting through that. DSM took up the reins before we got to that corner, and it was all about Alpecin out of that corner, all about the Belgian, Ed Plankart, doing the work for his Australian team leader, sprinter, Kaden Groves. They come to this race working specifically for Groves to help him get another stage win, and today they were delivering him to that 2nd stage win, his 6th in his career. But Wout van Aert was going to give him a run for his money. Van Aert didn't have Affini or any other teammates with him. He was there, however, locked on Groves' will. Also, we saw Bittner right in there and Vacek there in the Lidl Trek jersey, Bittner in the DSM jersey. Bam, after Ed Plankart's done, it's Groves shot to the left-hand side of Plankart, right between him and the barriers. Wout van Aert around the right-hand side. They're on the left-hand side of the road, firing up towards the finish line. Wout van Aert was just coming up on Groves, powering. It looks like he could have leaned a little bit to the left, kind of giving Groves a little friendly shutting of the door, but kept a clean line all the way to the finish. And Wout van Aert, the Belgian Classics winner, Milano-San Remo winner, he says afterwards that his legs just ran out with 50 kilometers to go. And the feeling, well, it was disappointment, because after his team, Visma-Lease bike, did all the work for him today, he couldn't pull off victory. But Wout van Aert just brushes it off and looks ahead. He says his next chance will probably be the Santander stage in a couple days' time. Now tomorrow we're flipping over to another GC day with Ben O'Connor back on top and trying to defend the onslaught from Bora Hansgrohe with Primoz Roglic. Movistar with Enric Mas, and that lead that he has just over a minute over Primoz Roglic. I think it's right around there at 1 minute and 15 on Primoz, who really looks like he's coming back to take it to Ben O'Connor. And Ben O'Connor says normally he likes long climbs, and tomorrow he's going to do his best. He should be okay, but you never know. So we'll have to tune in tomorrow. It's going to be a barnstormer of a stage, explosions all over the road, and for sure Primoz Roglic will be out with a knife ready to slash everyone, racing for the red jersey and stage victory. But today it's Kaden Groves, the Australian, bringing home Alpecin de Koenig, a second stage win in this 2024 Vuelta España Stage 14.